is a violation of the law. This live stream is a copyright of the Tiger Sports Livestream Network. Reproduction or distribution of this live stream without permission of the Tiger Sports Livestream Network is a violation of the law.
Every sunrise offers new opportunities to dream big or to take that next small step. Every sunrise is another chance before or to start with a clean slate, because every sunrise is tomorrow's promise made real. And Grinnell Mutual is tomorrow's promise protected. Trust in tomorrow and contact a Grinnell Mutual agent today.
Jeff Finch here from West Finch Auto Plaza in Grinnell. We normally go to the auction to restock our used cars and trucks, but prices have skyrocketed. If we're going to overpay, we'd rather overpay our friends, neighbors, and past customers. Bring your vehicle in for a quick 20-minute appraisal. You can either take the cash, trade for a different vehicle, or walk away. In some cases, your vehicle may be worth more than you paid for it. See us at West Finch Auto Plaza in Grinnell or online at westfinch.com.
At Ramsey Weeks, it's the synergy of insurance and real estate that makes our local office vibrant. At Ramsey Weeks, our success depends on yours in buying or selling property, in insuring your car, home, farm, or business. In your time of need, our success depends on yours. Ramsey Weeks Insurance and Ramsey Weeks Real Estate, 715 Fifth Avenue, Grinnell.
This is a story about signs. It's also a story about people's experiences. The humble sign. They are everywhere. But signs are more than just a plaque on the wall, an arrow, or letters on a building exterior. Signs help you leave a legacy or start a new chapter in life. All those signs have to start somewhere, and that's where we come in. We're your trusted partner in everything signage.
There are a lot of great reasons to make Medicap Pharmacy in Grinnell your pharmacy. Hi, this is Jennifer Stallman, and if you are like me, you have a busy schedule. So why wait around to get a prescription filled? At Medicap Pharmacy, we can call or text you when your prescriptions are ready. It's a free service that is available on request for any of our customers. Of course, we also have a convenient drive-through, free weekday deliveries, and free mail-outs as well. Just another great reason to make Medicap Pharmacy your pharmacy on Highway 6 West, Grinnell.
Since 1999, Grinnell Newburgh Dollars for Scholars has raised scholarship money for our graduating seniors. To date, we have awarded 1,820 scholarships to GHS graduates. We need you to be a part of our scholarship community, be a part of our GHS graduates' futures, and be a part of Grinnell Newburgh Dollars for Scholars. Please consider sponsoring a senior scholarship. Go Tigers!
Hey there, I'm Joey Pollyi, third generation owner of Pollyi's in Grinnell. Since 1957, we've been serving you the flavors you savor. Dine in, carry out, or pick up our frozen pizzas for a night in. Our promise to you? Everything is made from scratch, and we only use the freshest ingredients, guaranteed. Plus, get your kids signed up for our Pags Pals program to get free pizza and shirts. Visit pollyi'sgrinnellia.com or ask your server how to sign up. See you soon at Pollyi's Pizza Grinnell on 5th Ave between Main and Broad Street. Hey there, I'm Joey Pollyi, third generation owner of Pollyi's in Grinnell. Since 1957, we've been serving you the flavors you savor. Dine in, carry out, or pick up our frozen pizzas for a night in. Our promise to you? Everything is made from scratch, and we only use the freshest ingredients, guaranteed. Plus, get your kids signed up for our Pags Pals program to get free pizza and shirts. Visit polyiesgrinnellia.com or ask your server how to sign up. See you soon at Pollyeyes Pizza Grinnell on 5th Ave between Main and Broad Street.
Every sunrise offers new opportunities to dream big or to take that next small step. Every sunrise is another chance to build on the one before or to start with a clean slate. Because every sunrise is tomorrow's promise made real. And Grinnell Mutual is tomorrow's promise protected. Trust in tomorrow and contact a Grinnell Mutual agent today.
Jeff Finch here from West Finch Auto Plaza in Grinnell. We normally go to the auction to restock our used cars and trucks, but prices have skyrocketed. If we're going to overpay, we'd rather overpay our friends, neighbors, and past customers. Bring your vehicle in for a quick 20-minute appraisal. You can either take the cash, trade for a different vehicle, or walk away. In some cases, your vehicle may be worth more than you paid for it. See us at West Finch Auto Plaza in Grinnell or online at westfinch.com.
At Ramsey Weeks, it's the synergy of insurance and real estate that makes our local office vibrant. At Ramsey Weeks, our success depends on yours in buying or selling property, in insuring your car, home, farm, or business. In your time of need, our success depends on yours. Ramsey Weeks Insurance and Ramsey Weeks Real Estate, 715 5th Avenue, Grinnell.
This is a story about signs. It's also a story about people's experiences. The humble sign. They are everywhere. But signs are more than just a plaque on the wall, an arrow, or letters on a building exterior. Signs help you leave a legacy or start a new chapter in life. All those signs have to start somewhere, and that's where we come in. We're your trusted partner in everything signage.
There are a lot of great reasons to make Medicap Pharmacy in Grinnell your pharmacy. Hi, this is Jennifer Stallman, and if you are like me, you have a busy schedule. So why wait around to get a prescription filled? At Medicap Pharmacy, we can call or text you when your prescriptions are ready. It's a free service that is available on request for any of our customers. Of course, we also have a convenient drive-through, free weekday deliveries, and free mail-outs as well. Just another great reason to make Medicap Pharmacy your pharmacy on Highway 6 West, Grinnell.
Since 1999, Grinnell Newburgh Dollars for Scholars has raised scholarship money for our graduating seniors. To date, we have awarded 1,820 scholarships to GHS graduates. We need you to be a part of our scholarship community, be a part of our GHS graduates' futures, and be a part of Grinnell Newburgh Dollars for Scholars. Please consider sponsoring a senior scholarship. Go Tigers!
We need a statewide investment into rural school district budgets to even the playing field. Families deserve fair wages and medical leave with backing for employers. Education and medical help should be more accessible. I support the privilege to own a gun through the passage of background checks. Landowners should be available to repurpose less ample land for alternative crops and energy.
The Tiger Sports Livestream Network is brought to you by Pollyeyes Pizza, West Finch Auto Plaza, Grinnell Mutual, Ramsey Weeks Insurance and Ramsey Weeks Real Estate, Medicap Pharmacy, Sarah Smith for Iowa House, the Grinnell Newburgh Dollars for Scholars, and ASI Signs. Also, a shout out tonight to all of our business card sponsors that are turning up there in the left-hand corner. ASI Signs, Turnkey Realty, Mayflower Community Homes, Kurt's Collision Center, Pollyeyes Pizza, West Finch Auto Plaza, Medicap Pharmacy, Grinnell Mutual, Ramsey Weeks Insurance and Ramsey Weeks Real Estate, and Grinnell Firestone. Last shout out goes out to Kurt's Collision Center for sponsoring our scoreboards all season long in all sports. So thank you to Greg Heintzelman for that. And Kurt's Collision Center. Tonight on the call, I have Chris Juni with me tonight. Chris, what do we got on tap?
All right, Dan, thank you very much, and a pleasant good evening, everyone. Welcome to Grinnell High School and Grinnell High School Volleyball on the Tiger Sports Live Stream Network. Little Hawkeye Conference matchup tonight against always tough Pella Dutch. No longer the Little Dutch, they are simply known as Pella Dutch. Other Little Hawkeye games are on the schedule tonight. You have Dallas Center Grimes at Norwalk in a big ball game. As you said, Grinnell's here hosting Pella. Newton is hosting Indianola, and Oskaloosa is hosting Pella Christian. That's tonight in Little Hawkeye Conference Volleyball. In the standings, Pella and Grinnell, towards the bottom. Indianola is on top of the conference. They stand at 20-4 overall, 3-1 in the conference. Norwalk is 15-6, and they are 4-0 in the conference. So, and there you are playing Dallas Center Grimes tonight, and Dallas Center Grimes is in third, 14-9 overall, 1-0 in the conference. Then Pella Christian's fourth, 13-8 overall, 1-1 in the conference, followed by fifth place Oskaloosa, 12-8 overall, 2-2 in the conference. And then, in a somewhat unfamiliar position for them, the Pella Dutch are in sixth place, 10-8 overall, and 1-2 in the conference, followed by Grinnell in seventh place, 8-15 overall, 0-3 in the conference, and then Newton at the bottom, 4-12 overall, 0-4 in the conference. Pretty evenly matched teams tonight. The Dutch come in, as we said, with a record of 10-8 overall, 1-2 in the conference. Statistically, they're led in assists by a freshman, Katie Shekel, averaging 7.1 assists per match. She also leads the team in service aces, averaging about 1 ace per match. So a freshman getting some playing time in the setter for the Dutch. For kills, you turn to senior Mia Warner, 137 kills on the season, just about 9 kills per game. So if a match goes 3 games, you're looking at 27 or so kills total, so that's a pretty good total. Jasmine Namiga, a senior middle at 6 foot, 107 kills, is in second place. She leads them with 28 blocks. That averages about a block or so a game. And for digs, you turn to Abby Warner, the junior, with 110 digs, 3.5 digs per game. For the Tigers, they're led in assists by senior Ashley Hollingsworth, setter, averaging 4.2 assists per match. In kills, pretty close. Della Smith, a freshman for the Tigers, leads the Tigers with 89 kills on the season. Right behind her is Kenzie McClellan, the sophomore, with 88 kills for the season. In blocks, Bailey Strovers averages about 1 block a game. Kennedy Stewart leads the team in digs at 3 digs per game. And in service aces, the senior setter Ashley Hollingsworth averages about 1 service ace per game. Both teams coming off of, the Dutch are coming off a win. They actually beat Dallas Center Grimes 3-2 the other night in Pella, so it's a big win for them. Then they lost to Johnson earlier, beat Ballard, lost to Johnson 2-0. Then they beat Ballard, Woodward Granger, and Grandview Christian, all by the scores of 2-0. Conversely, the Tigers have coming in here having just won 2 of their last 5. Their most recent match, they lost to Lisbon 2-0. They beat Belle Plaine 2-1, lost to Waterloo East 2-0, beat East Marshall 2-0, and then lost to league-leading Norwalk 3-0. Teams are warming up, as you can see. The Dutch are coached by Steven Sass tonight. The regular head coach, Mallory Peterson, is not here this evening. Was not told why the absence was there, but in the place, Steven Satz is going to be coaching the Dutch. As I said, 10-8 overall, 1-2 in the conference. Of course, as we get near the month of October, you start thinking about volleyball playoffs and everything. Those will be announced by the Girls Union the first full week of October for all classes. Then the playoffs begin the week of October 17th for the Class 3A and 4A. So we have Pella and Grinnell tonight. Both teams struggling and trying to get a win. Grinnell looking for their first conference win against the Dutch team. And, it's a long-time rivalry. You go back, across most sports. And at least for a long time, the rivalry was Pella and Grinnell in about everything. So, you go back to the days of football when Jim Dunn was coaching against Norris Hale, legendary Pella coach. And that continued on with Jay McKinstry and his staff as well. So, big-time rival. Both teams looking to get a leg up and get momentum started for the opening season and the playoffs coming up. We do have the starters here for the Pella Little Dutch for Coach Steven Satz. They go together this way. Katie Pollock, a senior, will be a defensive specialist, number 2. Elena Hartke is a senior setter, number 5. Mia Warner leads the team in kills, senior outside hitter. Jasmine Namiga, senior middle hitter, is leading the team in blocks. Bryn Higginbotham also plays from the right side. She's a hitter and does very well for me. If that name sounds familiar to you, Higginbotham, because that's a big Knoxville name. I was asking her before the game, and she said, yep, I'm actually from Knoxville. So she open enrolls at Pella, is what I understood, and that her dad played for Knoxville. So I've been around a long enough time, Dan, to know and remember that Higginbotham name is really big in the Knoxville area, and now they have one playing for Pella.
Yeah,
so.
and it's kind of ironic. There's a lot of these Pella players that the names are sounding familiar. It's because they had older siblings or brothers or sisters that played sports, and now it's just kind of the rising up through the ranks that the younger ones are starting to play. This Pella team they have some ability in them. They had a great night. I think, did you say DCG? They went 5 sets in that night, and put out a good evening display of that they can play volleyball. So, I think as the Grinnell team has continued to improve with the players of learning new positions, are getting to play with the injury that we had, the major injury, and then having I know McClellan's back, but that was kind of a down in the first couple weeks. But I think overall we're going to see a pretty good match out of tonight.
I do too. Anytime Pella and Grinnell get together, it's kind of a cliche that we say it, but you throw the records out the window. These teams enjoy competing against each other, and they enjoy playing against each other, and it's always fun to get a win.
Hey, since we're speaking of volleyball tonight, for those that are watching at home, we got a great opportunity out here for a volleyball fundraiser. It's going to be happening Monday night at the Grinnell Eagles Club. Pulled pork meal, $10 for a meal. It's a dine-in or carry-out. If you want to purchase pre-sale tickets, there's a email down there at the bottom, stacy.harms@grinnell-k12.org, and all the proceeds will go to support the Grinnell volleyball program and purchase new equipment, balls and carts, etc. So, again, that's Monday night, October 3rd, 5 o'clock to 7 at the Grinnell Eagles, and that's going to have a hash brown casserole, pasta salad, beans, dessert, and water. So if you're looking for something to do, or you know what, there's always a men's night every week that you guys say, I'm going to be in charge of supper. Well, that's a good $20 supper right there. And if you want another one, add another $10 to it and have another sandwich. So give them a shout out and stop out and see them at the Grinnell fundraiser. We also put that on our Facebook and Twitter page, so if you're not catching it here, we'll mention it a couple more times throughout the night, but I'm sure that they greatly appreciate it.
This is the first of 2 broadcasts on the Tiger Sports Livestream Network for this week. Of course, we have the volleyball match tonight, and then it's homecoming week here at Grinnell, and we have the homecoming football game as the Keokuk Chiefs come to town Friday, come to TT Crane Field to take on the Grinnell Tigers. We will have that game for you live as well. Kickoff at 7:30. We'll have hit the air pregame about 7:10, 7:15 Friday night. Myself and Dan Walker will be there to bring you that one. As we're kind of rounding down and winding down the fall sports schedule, we have this volleyball match tonight, then one volleyball match coming up in October 11th. Grinnell hosts Newton for their last home volleyball match of the year. And then as far as football goes, there's just 2 more broadcasts as well. One this Friday night, September 30th, as they host Keokuk, and then the following Friday when Grinnell hosts West Burlington. So winding down, basically, 4 Tiger Sports Livestream broadcasts left for the fall. And then, of course, we have a month or so off, and then we jump right into the winter sports season, which is going to be very full with lots of good basketball.
Take that short break. We'll enjoy every minute of it. So, also, for everyone who's listening, if you like what you're seeing tonight, go ahead and give us a thumbs up, a like there. If you're a Grinnell Tiger fan joining us for the first time, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. You'll be notified every time that a Grinnell game or event pops up. For those who want to go back and watch previous games, you can either see that on our YouTube channel or go ahead and head right to our website, and you could check them out there. They are held in line as they are played, and you could click on the ones that are highlighted and re-watch if you'd like to re-watch. And then at the very top of our website, there's a thing called Sports Archives. You could go ahead and choose a sport, and then there's about 5 years worth of sporting events you can go back and rewatch too. So again, thank you for joining us on this Tiger Sports Livestream Network.
All right, we are getting set for the tip-off. The teams have gone to the sides, as you can see, and getting ready for the introductions. And senior night here at Grinnell also as well. So we do want to take a moment and salute those seniors: Bailey Strovers, Ashley Hollingsworth, Greta Dodd. And there is a couple more that I will get to, and I will get that information here in just a moment. But always fun to salute the seniors, going through it myself, and I know you've done that too, Dan. It's a special moment, really, no matter how the season's gone. Obviously, the season hasn't gone quite like the volleyball team would have liked to have seen, but, still fun to see the seniors out there and get the recognition and things that they deserve. So, introducing the starting lineups, PA announcer Dave Schaefer doing the honors tonight, and Grinnell Pella getting set to tip it off. Now, one thing the Tigers looking for tonight, and talking to one of the players early this week and a couple of the players, they've really focused on being mentally tough and sustaining their energy. Volleyball, I know every sport's a team sport, but I think more so in volleyball, as we've said before, Dan, you score your points off of mistakes. Either you make a mistake, a teammate makes a mistake, or the other team makes a mistake. And you literally have, I haven't counted, but I'm guessing you have maybe 10 to 15 seconds before the ball's up and being served again. So you got to have that short memory. You got to be mentally tough and just flush it away, and knowing that, all right, I didn't play that one right, but I got to keep going for my team. And I think with a young team, or kind of some girls that haven't had that varsity experience, that's hard to do.
Right, and we always kind of joke, and it kind of ages both of us how old we are, to go back to when you only could score when you were serving. And, volleyball matches they lasted longer than football games in some instances. And then especially if you got to a tie match and you had to go back and forth on that, it was a long, long night. So I don't know exactly when the time changed of scoring both ways, but again, as you said, you score on the event of a mistake, and the mistake is what goes from there. So
yeah, and it only lasted a couple of seasons, I think, and the people and the public spoke, and fortunately the girls' union, the volleyball union itself, kind of listened and said, yeah, you know what, you're right. We need to make this scoring at every point, because you're right. I remember the first few matches, people would show up and be all supportive, and then there'd be it'd take 3 hours to play a match because you only score when you're serving. And like I said, I think that lasted once, maybe 2 seasons.
To reward a team that was playing good defense, it made an internal night.
So the starters being introduced tonight here at Tiger Gym, and getting set for a big set of volleyball. As you said earlier, the pairings for the playoffs will be announced the first full week of October by the girls' union. They always kind of wait until the last minute to get it done, because then 2 weeks after that, around October 17th, the playoffs start for the larger schools, classes 3A, 4A, and 5A. We'll pause now for our national anthem. All right, the national anthem is in the books, and we are set for volleyball action. And again, I look for the Tigers, Dan, as you said earlier. This is a part of the season where you want to get things rounded into shape and kind of get things figured out and get yourself geared up for that playoff run. because the games come by pretty quickly. They just have 2 home matches left, this one, and then in 2 weeks they host Newton. Now they have more volleyball in between that on the road, but still, you want to get, as a coach and as a player, you want to be, obviously you hear it all the time, playing our best ball or doing our best at this time of year as the playoffs loom large. And so we'll see how that goes. And Tigers, it's been a long time since they beat, I don't think they beat Pella in volleyball for a while. I know we had that against Allison and Grimes earlier, so it's been quite a while. And as usual, across the front line, you can look out there, number 18 and number 9, or number 10 and number 9 there, right at 6 foot, if not a little taller, which is not unusual for Pella players. So pretty big wall for the Tigers to go through, but getting ready to tip it off. Tip it off. That's basketball. Getting ready to serve it.
No, we were talking about basketball season
we
earlier,
were.
so that's okay.
Tigers are going to serve.
You know what? I own this place, so you can say whatever you want to say.
All right, sounds good. Ashley Hollingsworth, a senior setter for the Tigers, set to serve. And the ready for play whistle sounded, and here we go. High school volleyball on the Tiger Sports Livestream Network. Pushed up by Pella. Set over the net. Free ball for the Tigers. Hollingsworth back over to McClellan. She hits it down, and that gets it down. So killed by the Tigers, and they get the first point. Hollingsworth checks over to her coach, gets the signal, the hand signal of the number and position to where to place a serve, and there's a serve up. Bumped up by Grinnell. There's the pass to their setter, just a tip over, free ball for the Tigers. Here comes a set. Now back to the right side. Kill attempt, played up by Pella. Knocked up in the air. Back row attack, not really attack, just a free ball over by the Dutch. Now a set by Hollingsworth to the right side. Tries to tip it over and gets it to fall. Shiloh Smith got that one to fall, just a tip over that 6-foot block there of Jasmine Namiga. She's all of 6 foot. Just got it over her fingertips and hit the ground in front of the diving Pella player, and point for Grinnell. Serve. Ball's up. Dug up right back at Grinnell, and on the miss. Just a little bit of a timing issue there. Tigers couldn't quite get it put back over. Ball hits the ground, and Dutch get the point, and they move to serve. Katie Scheckel, the first-year freshman setter for the Dutch, goes back to serve, leading the team with aces, by the way. Jump serve, not that time, serves it into the net. Service error gives the point to Grinnell. Sub into the game. Harms goes out. Della Smith comes in for the Tigers. It looks like Bailey Strover's set to serve. Correction, that is Kenzie McClellan serving for the Tigers. Ball played up by the Dutch. Middle attack, bounce to the middle. Diving attempt, saved by Harms. Up and over, free ball. Smith gets it over, dug up by Pella. There's the set, over to the right side. Again a free ball, bumped up by Grinnell. There's the pass to Smith. She knocks it over, played up by Pella. Attack back, there's a strong swing. Played up nicely by Kennedy Stewart, rather. There's a kill attempt, goes long. Della Smith, the freshman, leading the Tigers in kills with 89, just hit it long, and the point for Grinnell. Back serving, as you said, now for the Dutch, is number 9, Mia Warner. Played up by Grinnell. Tipped back by the Tigers. Hollingsworth tried to get it bumped up, couldn't quite get a hold of it. Pella may have tipped that over. Falls to the ground, end point for the Dutch. Now Coach Steven Satz talking to the floor official about something. Looks friendly enough. Again, the regular coach, the head coach Mallory Peterson, not here for the Dutch tonight. Steven Satz is the head coach for this evening. Actually, okay, they called the point for Grinnell. My apologies. So Grinnell got it, and they serve. Here's a kill attempt by Pella. Blocked back by Grinnell. Right there for the block were the Tigers, but couldn't quite keep it in bounds. Falls out of bounds, and point for the Dutch. Now serving for Pella is number 18, Kylie Heemstra. Quick set up, played nicely up by the Dutch. Tigers trying to get a quick set there with Dodd. Tipped up by Grinnell, bumped up by the Tigers, and a kill attempt by Shiloh Smith. Played over by Pella. Here comes the attack. Bumped up by the Tigers. Set over to the other Smith. She hammers it down, blocked by Pella, and could not, on a diving attempt, could not bring it up. That was Annika Stoltzfus trying to dive and pump it up. Could not get it done, and point Tigers. Tigers taking an early 5-3 lead here in this one. High school volleyball on the Tiger Sports live stream network on YouTube. Glad to have you with us on this Tuesday night. Christian Danwalker here with you from Tiger Gym. There's a service error, receive error rather, by Pella. Stoltzfus had it misplayed it, went off her hands back behind her, and Tigers get the point. For Coach Rachel Stensrud and Sheree Sharp, this is just the type of start you want. Good quick start by the Tigers. Played up by the Dutch. Here comes a kill attempt. Hammered home that time. Annika Stoltzfus, the senior outside hitter, got that one, and no doubt about it, hammered it right down the left side for the point for the Dutch. Back now to serve for Pella number 5, Elena Hartke. Ball's up, and there's a serve over. Top spin serve, played up nicely by Grinnell. There's a set-up attempt, bumped over by the Tigers, played by the Dutch. Short set that time by Pella. Diving play by the Tigers to save it. Back up for an attempt to Smith. Block right back in her face. And there's those 6-footers, Bryn Higginbotham in there. I stood next to her. I'm 6'4", and she wasn't much shorter than I was. She's 6 foot, 6'1", somewhere in there. Blocked it back in, point for the Dutch. Serve again up. Bumped up nicely by the Tigers to Hollingsworth. Tips it over. Don't think she meant to, but it rolled over. Now the Dutch are playing it. There's a kill attempt. Hit back that time by the Tigers. Couldn't see who that was. Looked like that was maybe Greta Dodd. Jumped up and pushed that back over quickly. And it's a point for Grinnell. Nice play that time. Della Smith serving for Grinnell. There's the bump. There's a set. Here comes the spike attempt. And that time just a swing and a miss. Sometimes that happens. Even the pro golfers miss-hit a drive once in a while. That time Stoltzfus just could not get the timing down and miss-hit it. Falls to the ground. It's a point for Grinnell. Again, in volleyball, if you're new to the sport, they play 3 sets out of 5. That's a match. And each set you play to 25, and you must win by 2. As we said earlier, every point, every serve, a point can be made. That time, a nice spot attempt, as we've seen before. Pella's tried to swing hard. Tigers have been there to play it up. At that time, the attacker for the Dutch saw the opening on the right side of the Tiger defense, just right behind the attack line, which is that orange line going down the middle. If you look at the net and look left, that orange line right behind that Tiger player, that's the attack line. Dropped in for a point for the Dutch. I said short set a minute ago. We'll explain some of those as the match goes on. There's a short set by Grinnell. That was hammered home with authority. Hollingsworth, short set to Greta Dodd, and the senior knew what to do with that one. Hammers it home. What I mean by short set is most sets you'll see the ball goes way up in the air, probably 8 to 10 feet in the air. On a short set, it's a timing thing. It's called, the setter calls it, they just bump it up just about a foot above the net, and then the hitter comes in quickly, and the theory is that they can hit the ball and make a kill attempt before the other team's defense has a chance to react. That's called a short set. Service error puts the ball in the net, point for the Dutch, and it's 9-7 Grinnell. Dutch to serve. Higginbotham puts the ball in the net as well. So another service error. Right back at you, Tigers, and Grinnell gets the point. Now looking to serve for the Tigers. I believe that is number 7. That's Hollingsworth. Up to serve. There goes the serve. Nice play by the Dutch. Had to move over quickly and get that. There's a kill attempt by Stoltzfus off of the Tiger libero. And it's a point for the Dutch. Busy night tonight out here at Grinnell High School. There's a junior high football game and then 3 volleyball matches. Freshman, JV, and now the varsity. There's a set attempt by Grinnell. Shiloh Smith gets it over. Kill attempt, that time by Stoltzfus, and ruled long. Pella team did not think so, but it was ruled long. It was close, and a point for Grinnell. Again, each individual one's a set, and you play each set to 25, must win by 2. Serve up by the Tigers. Bumped up by Pella. Going to be just a attempt over. That time gets over the net. I thought it hit the net. Hartke looked like she mishit it, but it got over the net and off a Tiger player and drops to the ground on the Tiger side, so it's a point for the Dutch. 2-point lead for Grinnell, 11-9. You just get the sense that's the way this whole match is going to go tonight. As Dan said earlier in our pregame, it's going to be a good, tight, closely contested match. There's a nice play. Again, the Tigers, instead of swinging hard, they saw the opening as they went up to the attack. They just put the ball in the far back corner. Pella, Dutch player, dived to try to bump it up, but could not get there, and it falls to the ground. Point for Grinnell. Sometimes it's not always the speed, although it's exciting to see a big swing and a big hard kill, but as long as you get the point and whatever any means necessary, that's what matters. There's an attempt by Hartke, bumped up by the Tigers. Over now to Smith. She had the timing out and just couldn't get on top of it. Had to kind of arch her back. Anytime you see a player arch her back, that causes the palm to turn up and the ball's going to go up and up, over and high. And the Tigers put it out of bounds, and it's a point for the Dutch. Kylie Heemster back to serve now for Pella. Here in this first set. Heemster served knuckleball. Boy, that got over the net and just died. That's what those knuckleballs do. They kind of, just like in baseball, they kind of tend to move a little bit funky, and that one got over the net. All of a sudden it just dropped like it had been rolled off a table. Point for the Dutch. There's another knuckleball and a service error into the net. Coach Steven Sass just kind of taps his clipboard, puts his head in his hands like, you know, those are just free points you're giving away. And things we're not used to seeing from a Pella Dutch team. I believe that's unofficially their 5th service error. Here we are just in this first set. Tigers a serve. There's a serve up. Bumped up by the Dutch. There's a set over to the attacker, Stoltzfus. Bumped up by Grinnell over to Smith. Smith tries to hammer it down. And just, again, cannot get up on top of the ball. Hits it long and out, and the point for the Dutch. Pella looking to tie here on this point. Dutch have not led in this game. Serve up and long, it is out. Another service error by Hartke. Well, not by Hartke, another service error for the Dutch. That one by Hartke that time. And it's a point for Grinnell. Annika Stoltzfus checks in for Hartke. Smith to serve for Grinnell. There's the bump. There's a pass over to Stoltzfus. Stoltzfus kill attempt knocked up. Blocked, and no Tiger could get to it. Just kind of blocked, unfortunate bounce there. Blocked right in the spot where there was a hole in the Tiger defense. Fell to the ground, and it's a point for Pella. Both teams substituting frequently. You get 13 substitutes per each match by the rules. Service error that time. Another one for the Dutch. Point for Grinnell, ends 15-13. Steven Sets, the Pella coach, just kind of leaned back in his chair and put his head back like, all right, come on. And there's a service error by the Tigers right back. That's not a stat you want to win. You don't want to have, I mean, usually the most of something is good. Most kills, most points, most digs, but most blocks, but not most service errors. That's a stat you don't want to lead in. There's a bump up by the Tigers. Now just a free ball over. I'll explain what free ball is in a moment. Now the Dutch go with a set. There's a set, a runaround set that time for the player. Bumped up nicely by the Tigers. There's blocked by the Dutch. Good kill attempt that time by Dodd. Blocked back by the Dutch. Here comes the Dutch. Stoltzfus on the attack. Bumped up by Stewart. Set over now. And there is the tip up and over by the Tigers. And the Dutch just tip it back, a free ball. Stewart now gets the pass up. Hollingsworth tries to get a swing on it. She taps herself and says, yep, that was my bad. I mishit that one. And it's a point for the Dutch in the longest rally of the match. When I say free ball, that means there's no attack attempt at all. It's just a ball played over nice and easy by the other team, which is a free ball, which allows the other team to get a chance to attack. There's a ball played by the Dutch. Dodd tried to hammer it home. Nice dig by the Dutch. There's Stoltzfus hammering it back to the corner. Over now to Strovers, who tries to hit it up and over. And that time McClellan gets the kill. Again, wasn't a hardest swing, but it was in the right spot. Dropped in. And get the point now for the Tigers. Isabel Hart was the setter in that rotation. She checks out, and Shiloh Smith checks in. Hollingsworth back to serve for the Tigers, leading by 1. There's a serve up, bumped up by Pella. There's the set. Over now to Warner. Warner's kill attempt dug out by Grinnell. Over now to McClellan. McClellan, a big swing, dug up nicely by Heemstra. Back to the Dutch, and that was hammered down. Pella wanted a touch. It was out, but Pella wanted a touch, but the referees say no touch. Good kill, good swing by the Dutch, just landed wide of the court, and it's a point for Grinnell. Hollingsworth with a serve. Serves it up. There's a short set. Hammered down that time by Jasmine Namiga. That was a short set right there. The setter got low, bumped it up just about a foot or two above the net. The hitter timed their jump perfectly and hammered it home before the defense could react, and it's a point for the Dutch. Serve up. Line drive serve dug up nicely by Stewart. Over now to McClellan. McClellan with a big swing from the right side. Was blocked by the Dutch. They were there but could not control it. Ball falls down on their side of the net and hits the floor, and that's a point for Grinnell. There's 4 Pella Dutch student section over by the Tigers end serving, trying to make noise and distract them. I love it. That's awesome. They're doing what they can. There's a dig back up and dig up again. Now they call a violation.
Over the net by Pella.
Yep.
Or touching the net. Or
yeah, they went over. And that the coach, Steven Satz, is explaining that. The Pella, you cannot reach over the net to the opponent's side to make a play on the ball. You have to wait for the ball to come to your side, and that's what the referee called, and Steven Satz explained that to his players. That's a point, Grinnell. Ooh. Just long. Katie Polk was just set to bump that up. Somebody, I don't know if you could hear, but somebody on their team said long or out, and she backed up quickly. It was long. It's a point for the Dutch. 19-17, Tigers with the lead. Again, played at 25, must win by 2. Serve up by the Dutch, bumped up by Grinnell. Over now to Smith. And Della just mishit that one. Tried to get it over and position it, just to tip it over the block to an open spot. Couldn't quite do it. It's a point for the Dutch. Service up by Grinnell. Mia Warner on the serve. Set by Hollingsworth. Out the middle to Dodd. Blocked back by Pella, though. That was Jasmine Namiga. Leads the team in blocks. Got one there. And we are tied. I believe we were tied one other time, like I want to say 2-2 or something like that. So it is tied here at 19. There's a serve out in by the Dutch. Mia Warner didn't think so. She's upset herself for getting it that close. That was close, but again, it was long. It's a point for Grinnell. Tigers set to serve here. Kenzie McClellan to serve it up. Her serve goes long. So right back at you, Dutch. Back-to-back service errors. And we're tied back up at 20. Kylie Heemstra, junior defensive specialist and libero for the Dutch, set to serve. Here we go. Ball's up. Bumped up by Grinnell to Hollingsworth. Over now to Smith. Smith comes in and hammers it. Blocked off. Pella goes out of bounds. Last touch by the Dutch, and it's a point for Grinnell. Now coming in is Isabel Hart, replacing Shiloh Smith. So that means Ashley Hollingsworth will move to right side hitter, and Hart will become the setter. Hart to serve. Serve up. Might have been long, but played by the Dutch. Bumped up quickly, and that time, Annika Stolzfuss, she tried to hit it with her opposite hand that time. Must have been a timing issue. Couldn't get it done. Point Tigers. And Steven Sass takes a timeout for the Dutch. You're watching high school volleyball on the Tiger Sports Live Stream Network.
Hey there, I'm Joey Pollei, third generation owner of Polley's in Grinnell. Since 1957, we've been serving you the flavors you savor. Dine in, carry out, or pick up our frozen pizzas for a night in. Our promise to you, Everything is made from scratch, and we only use the freshest ingredients, guaranteed. Plus, get your kids signed up for our Pags Pals program to get free pizza and shirts. Visit polyeisgrinnellia.com or ask your server how to sign up. See you soon at Polyeis Pizza Grinnell on 5th Ave between Main and Broad Street.
The Tiger Sports Live Stream Network is brought to you by Polyeis Pizza, and also let's give a shout out to our business card sponsors, ASI Science, Turnkey Realty, Mayflower Community Homes, Kurt's Collision Center, Polyeis Pizza, West Finch Auto Plaza, Medicap Pharmacy, and Grinnell Mutual, Ramsey Weeks Insurance, and Grinnell Firestone.
And just like that, Isabel Hart with a service there just a little bit long. It was close, but it was long, and it's a point for the Dutch. Eerily similar to the first set against Indianola 2 weeks ago. Tigers led most of that way, then right when they got to the 20s, Indianola got it tied, and then they came back and won it 27-25. And now Pella gets 2 in a row, and it's tied up again here at 22. Tigers got to figure out a way to finish this. And then, of course, Indianola won the next 2 sets pretty easily and beat the Tigers 3-0. There's a setup by Hart. Over now to Smith. And that time Della gets it down. Again, blocked by the Dutch, but drops down on their side of the net. Smith with a big swing. Gets the kill and point Grinnell. Now Smith back to serve. Shiloh, a sophomore outside hitter for the Tigers. Serve up. Bumped up nicely by the Dutch. Over now to the Pella hitter. That's Stolzfus bumped up by Grinnell. Back now to Hollingsworth. Hollingsworth dug out of there by Heemstra. There's the setup. Back to Stolzfus. She tips it back to the back row. Hart with a quick set to the middle. That time played back by the Dutch and then blocked by Grinnell. Greta Dodd on the block puts it back, and we are at set point for the Tigers. Wow. Good action on that one by both teams. And Kenzie McClellan set to serve. No, check that. That is Della Smith. And Della Smith serves it long. It's a point for the Dutch. Kennedy Harms comes in for Della. And now the Dutch set to serve. Katie Pollack set to serve, the senior defensive specialist for the Dutch. Gets the word to serve it, and there's the ball up. Here comes a serve. Bumped up by Grinnell. And that was a serve receiver by the Tigers, and they were tied at 24. Again, eerily similar to the first set of the Indianola match here a couple weeks ago. Tigers led most of that match. Indianola came back and tied it late in the early low 20s and eventually won 27-25. Dutch to serve. There's a serve up. Bumped up by Stewart. There's a set by Hart. Over now to McClellan. Swung and blocked out of bounds. They called a net violation anyway, even though it was out of bounds. It would have been a point Tigers either way. And now we are at set point once again for Grinnell as they lead 25-24. Greta Dodd, the senior middle hitter to serve for the Tigers. Serve up by Dodd. There's play back by the Dutch. They're trying to get it. It goes out of bounds, and Tigers get the first set. Grinnell wins it 26-24. You're watching high school volleyball on the Tiger Sports Live Stream Network.
Jeff Finch here from West Finch Auto Plaza in Grinnell. We normally go to the auction to restock our used cars and trucks, but prices have skyrocketed. If we're going to overpay, we'd rather overpay our friends, neighbors, and past customers. Bring your vehicle in for a quick 20-minute appraisal. You can either take the cash, trade for a different vehicle, or walk away. In some cases, your vehicle may be worth more than you paid for it. See us at West Finch Auto Plaza in Grinnell or online at westfinch.com.
I decided to run for the Iowa House because I had helped on a couple of different school bond votes. And I didn't like how state policies were causing divisions within our rural communities. And I felt that I had a good understanding through listening to both of those sides at how to make it better and how to make positive change for our small rural towns.
Every sunrise offers new opportunities to dream big or to take that next small step. Every sunrise is another chance to build on the one before, or to start with a clean slate. Because every sunrise is tomorrow's promise made real. And Grinnell Mutual is tomorrow's promise protected. Trust in tomorrow and contact a Grinnell Mutual agent today.
At Ramsey Weeks, it's the synergy of insurance and real estate that makes our local office vibrant. At Ramsey Weeks, our success depends on yours in buying or selling property, in insuring your car, home, farm, or business. In your time of need, our success depends on yours. Ramsey Weeks Insurance and Ramsey Weeks Real Estate, 715 Fifth Avenue, Grinnell.
The Tiger Sports Livestream Network is brought to you by Polly's Pizza, West Finch Auto Plaza, Grinnell Mutual, Ramsey Weeks Insurance and Ramsey Weeks Real Estate, and Sarah Smith for Iowa House.
All right, well, Tigers put that one away. Dutch came back and made it a contest, tied it up a couple of times in the low 20s, but Tigers get the win that first set, 27-24. Here we go, Dutch to serve this second set. High school volleyball on the Tiger Sports Livestream Network. There's a serve up. The pass a little bit long. Hollingsworth trying to tip it over, but right there at the net, Jasmine Namiga tips it right back, and it's a point for the Dutch. Again, we play best 3 out of 5 sets. Each set is a 25, win by 2. If we get to a fifth set, they play to 15, win by 2. Set by Hollingsworth. Over now to Dodd. Dodd takes a big swing, played up nicely by the Dutch. Heemster with a set. Over now to the right side, tipped up by the Tigers. Chasing it down. Stewart gave chase, just couldn't quite get enough underneath it to get it back. It's a point for the Dutch, and they lead 2-0. Pella coach Steven Satz was pretty decisive in explaining things, and all the players, he had their attention. So far, what do you say, much stuck because the Dutch now, as the serve receiver by the Tigers, gives another point to Pella. Tigers need to quickly dig themselves out of it. As we talked about in the pregame, this game is built on mistakes, and you're going to make a mistake at some point. You hope not, but you're going to. You got to flush it, move on. Served by Pella that time. And one of the assistant coaches, they just kind of clapped their knee, like just what you did want to do. You had the momentum. Tigers were down 3, and then you have a serve error. Gives a point to Grinnell. Hollingsworth set to serve now for the Tigers. There's a serve up, bumped up by the Dutch. Over to their center now, to the right side to Stolzfus. Played up by Grinnell. Couldn't quite get underneath it. Ball gets across the net, but lands out of bounds. It's a point for Pella. Senior outside hitter Mia Warner now set to serve for the Dutch. Ball's up. Bumped up by the Tigers. Over now to Stewart and played back by McClellan. Ball hits the net and drops down. Couldn't tell that hit the net or was hit by a Pella player, but nonetheless, it's a point for the Dutch. Tigers got to regroup and get things going here. Don't want to fall too far behind. Nice serve by the Dutch. Bumped up by Hollingsworth. Set over now to the far side. Smith. Shiloh tried to go for it. Couldn't quite get to it. And that is a point for the Dutch. Now the student section. If you look in our camera angle, you can see in the far left part of your screen, this Pella student section has grown. The right back on the Grinnell end where the Tiger players are serving. And let's see what the call is. Net violation on the Tigers. Couldn't see the number they called. And Dutch now have the biggest lead so far of any set in this match as they lead 7-1. Bumped up by Grinnell. Back to the middle to Smith. Blocked back by the Dutch. Played up by the Tigers. Stewart now gets back to Smith. Smith diving a save by Pella. Nice attempt that time by the Dutch. And Tigers get a point to stop that Pella run. It's 7-2. Della Smith in now for the Tigers. Back to serve is Kenzie McClellan. McClellan's serve bumped up by Heemstra. There's a set. Over to the right side, swing and bounce back in Grinnell, but they call a net violation. Or no, they call 4 hits. That time Jasmine Namiga, they said her attempt wasn't blocked by Grinnell, but rather hit the net for the 3rd hit, and then when another player, Pella player, touched it, that made 4 hits. Hence, that's why they hold up 4 fingers. That's a point for Grinnell. McClellan's serve bumped up by the Dutch. Kind of a no person's land there. Ball just was not put back in play. Kind of put towards the out of bounds side, and Pella players could not get to it. It's a point for Grinnell. Tigers have scored 3 in a row here. McClellan to serve, bumped up by Heemstra. Over now to the center, Shekel. Bumped up by Grinnell. Hollingsworth set over to Smith. Smith hammers it down. Nice dig that time by Shekel. Over now to the Dutch. There is Stolzfus. Her kill attempt wasn't that hard, but caught a Tiger just on one hand. Couldn't control it. Goes out of bounds. It's a point for Pella. Now Kylie Heemstra, the junior defensive specialist, libero, set to serve. Her serve is up to Hollingsworth. Set back now to the right side. That time was Shiloh Smith and blocked by Pella. They were there. Bryn Higginbotham was there, but again a block down on Pella's side of the net. It's a point for Grinnell. Tigers at one point were down 6-1. Have come back to trail just 8-5. So nice job by Grinnell getting back into this one. There's a serve by Smith. Going up now. Stolzfus couldn't quite get the timing down. Puts the ball into the net. And then a Pella player touched it, making the 4th hit. It's a point for Grinnell. Tigers coming back nicely after being down in that hole early on. Serve up, played by the Dutch. Quick set to Namiga. She hits it back, or Higginbotham rather hits it back. This time it's tipped by Pella. Played up by Grinnell. Hollingsworth with a set over now to Smith. And it was ruled out. It's a point for the Dutch. Again, the goal of most hitters is to get up on top of the ball and swing down. So the ball goes on a downward arc. Hollingsworth set to the middle to Dodd, and she hammers it home. Wow. That was a short set right there. Great timing, and there's lots of timing involved, lots of practice time between the setter and the hitters to get that down. And that was absolutely executed flawlessly by the Tigers. Dodd just hammered it down, almost straight down. Point for Grinnell. Emphatic point for Grinnell. Service error that time by the Tigers. Isabel Hart now in for the Tigers. She'll move to center, and Ashley Hollingsworth will move to the right side hitter. And Adele Smith will be on the left side with Dodd in the middle. Dutch set to serve here. Awaiting the serve. Low line drive serve by the Dutch. Played up nicely by Grinnell. Over now to McClellan. She just tips it over. A short set that time. Bumped around by a couple players. Played by Grinnell. There's a kill attempt. Just wide. McClellan tried to go for that back corner. If you can see on your screen, in the corner it's a big rectangle. If you think of a rectangular shape, you look at where two ends meet, the end and the side. That corner point is where most hitters try to get the ball. And just a little wide that time by the Tigers, and it's a point for Pella. Tigers win the first set 27-24. It's best 3 out of 5 sets. Win by 2. There's a serve bumped up by Grinnell. Over now to Hart. Hart to the middle to Hollingsworth. Hollingsworth kill. Bumped up by Pella nicely. Over now to Stolzfus. She tries to place it and does. Or checked it. That was Mia Warner from the left side. Mia Warner, again, didn't really have a big swing, but just placed the ball in that far left back corner. Saw opening. Put the ball there. It's a point for Pella. Serve is up. Bumped up by Grinnell. Over now to Smith. Smith, kill attempt. Nice hard swing by Della. The freshman puts it down off the block. It's a point for the Tigers. That stops Pella's run of 3 points in a row. And Grinnell trails 12-8. High school volleyball here on the Tiger Sports live stream network on YouTube. Chris Cheney, Dan Walker here with you on a Tuesday night. Pella now plays it up, a free ball, just getting the ball over. Stewart bumps it up, over to Hart. Hart to Hollingsworth. That one could not quite get up and over the top of it. Hits it long. It's a point for the Dutch. So Pella now set to serve. Bryn Higginbotham to serve. Pella student section didn't like that call by our line judge, but it was long a little bit, at least it looked like from here. Service error, and gives the point to Grinnell. Now Greta Dodd set to serve. Ball's up, bumped up nicely by Pella. There's a set by Shekel, and a kill by Mia Warner. And the senior hitter knows what to do with it. Puts it down with authority. That's a point for Pella. If you're just joining us, Pella Dutch head coach Mallory Peterson is not here tonight. Was not told why she was absent, but assistant coach Steven Satz taking over the head coaching duties for tonight for the Dutch. And there's a service error that time by Shekel into the net, gives a point back to Grinnell. Tigers trailed early like 7-1. They cut it down to trailing by 2, but just cannot get over that hump, and currently they trail by 4 with the Tigers serving. Hollingsworth set to serve for Grinnell. Ball goes up, bumped up by Heemstra. Over now to Shekel. Over to Warner. Her kill is bumped up by Grinnell. There's a short one. Oh, two players collide. Looks like everybody's okay. It could have been kind of disastrous there, but I've seen that happen. I've seen two players collide and hit either head to shoulder or head to head. Fortunately, everybody's okay, but unfortunately, it's a point for Pella. They lead 15-10. Dutch to serve. Bumped up by the Tigers. Hollingsworth with a set now over to Smith. Smith plays it over short. There's a tap down by Dodd. Again, the pass was going a little bit high and wide of the net. And Dodd saw it coming. And again, she can't reach over the net and play. She has to wait till the ball crosses the plane and gets on the Grinnell side. She did that. Hammered it home. It's a point for the Tigers. Serve up by Kenzie McClellan. Dug up by the Dutch. Set by Shekel. Over now to Stolzfus. Stolzfus. Again, not a lot of speed on that, but in the right spot. Tigers dove for it, but couldn't quite get it up. It's a point for Pella. Heemstra to serve. There's a serve up. Hollingsworth with a set. Over to Smith on the side. Smith goes to hammer it, and just long. Tigers wanted a touch. The referees are saying no touch. It's a point for the Dutch. Why they asked for a touch is Tigers thought on the block attempt by Pella that the ball hit one of the Pella players and then went out. If that would have happened and it was called, it would have been a point Grinnell. But they called. There was no touch called, so it's a point for the Dutch. Tigers set to play it up now, just trying to get it over, and it couldn't quite get it. You can see on your view there on the top end of each pole, just over the referee's head. And we'll explain that when we come back. Timeout taken by Rachel Stensrud, High School Volleyball on the Tiger Sports Live Stream Network.
There are a lot of great reasons to make Medicap Pharmacy in Grinnell your pharmacy. Hi, this is Jennifer Stallman, and if you are like me, you have a busy schedule. So why wait around to get a prescription filled? At Medicap Pharmacy, we can call or text you when your prescriptions are ready. It's a free service that is available on request for any of our customers. Of course, we also have a convenient drive-through, free weekday deliveries, and free mail-outs as well. Just another great reason to make Medicap Pharmacy your pharmacy on Highway 6 West, Grinnell.
The Tiger Sports Live Stream Network is brought to you by Medicap Pharmacies.
At the top ends of each net, right above the out-of-bounds line, there's like a barbershop pole or a red and white stripe pole. Has to go on the net side of the pole, otherwise it's out. It did not that time. That's why the point was called out, and the point went to the Dutch. There's a kill attempt from McClellan in the back row, and she got it down. The line judge put his arms up to get out of the way, but then he pointed the flag down. And it was in. It looked like it was in, and he called it in. Nice attempt there. Nice kill by McClellan, and Tigers get the point. They trail by 6.
It looked like it might have hit a Pella player's hand, too.
Okay. Now Bailey Strover set to serve for the Tigers. Shekel with a set. Over now to Stolzfus, and her kill attempt goes long. Again, trying to hit that back corner where those two lines intersect. Right where the line judge is standing, the gentleman in the white there, on the left side of your screen. The two lines intersect, that's what they're going for. Just missed it, point for Grinnell. Short set that time by Shekel, tipped over by the Dutch. Back to Hollingsworth, over now to Smith. She hammers it down, partial block by Pella. Back over now by Stoltzfus. Tigers, Hollingsworth runs to chase it down. Going to be a free ball over by the Tigers. Dutch have an attempt here. There's a setup by Stoltzfus, and it hits the net and goes over. Or maybe a Tiger hand that goes over, but nonetheless, it falls on Grinnell's side of the net, and it's a point for Pella. Dutch trying to tie it up, even things up at one set apiece here. And they're 6 points away from doing that. Dutch to serve, Hartke with a serve. That serve coming low. Nice attempt by the Tigers to try to dig it up off the floor. Just couldn't quite get it done. It's a point for Pella. 20-13. Ball is up. Bumped up by Grinnell. Hollingsworth with a set. That time the kill attempt by Shiloh Smith goes off the Pella block. That was Stoltzfus there. Got a piece of it, but it blocked down, hit the court. That's a point for Grinnell. Unlike that first match, Tigers have just not been able to string together a run of 4, 5, 6 points. I think the most they got was 3 in a row one time. Trailing by 6, they need to figure out a way to get a string of points going. Served by the Tigers, short set that time. Beautiful placement by the Dutch. That was Bryn Higginbotham. Again, wasn't a big swing. She just tipped it over, saw the opening, and put the ball right where the opening was. Tigers couldn't get to it, and it's a point for the Dutch. 21-14 now. Again, sets are played 2:25. You must win by 2. Pella to serve. Hartke serves it up. Played up by Isabel Hart for Grinnell. And that bounces down. Heemstra couldn't get to it. I think she thought it might have been going to be long, and then all of a sudden, by the time she realized it was going to be in, it was too late. And it bounced right in front of her for a point for Grinnell. Now Della Smith set to serve for the Tigers. Freshman outside hitter. Serves it up, bumped up by Pella. Serve received that time by the Dutch. Goes off of one of their players out of bounds. It's a point for Grinnell. As you said, see if Grinnell can string together 4 or 5 points here and get back into this one. Need 5 to tie. There's a serve up by Smith, bumped up by the Dutch. Over now to Warner. Warner's attempt hammers it home. Wow. Tipped by Grinnell. All he could do was just try to get a hand on it. And it's a point for Pella. 22-16 now. Bryn Higginbotham, a junior middle hitter. Up, there's the serve. Bumped up by Stewart. Over to Hart. And kill attempt by Smith. We got a net violation called on the Dutch. Called it on number 10 that time. That's a point for Grinnell. 22-17. Tigers to serve. Greta Dodd with a serve. Serves up and serves it long. And that'll be a point for Pella. As we expected, as we said at the top of this broadcast, we expect this to be a pretty close and tightly contested match, and so far it has been that. Dutch to serve. That one goes long as well, so right back at you, Grinnell. Tigers at the point, and they trail by 5. Shiloh Smith now comes back in. And now Tigers set to serve. Hollingsworth with a serve. Up now to Hartke. Hartke's kill attempt again. Not the biggest, most powerful swing ever, but, I mean, that's good and fun to see, but sometimes placement is better too. And that time Hartke took a swing at it, didn't quite get all of it, but it was in the right spot, drops to the court, and we are at set point for the Dutch. Trying to even this one up at 1 set apiece. Here's the serve. Bumped up by Stewart. Over to Hollingsworth. That time to McClellan, blocked back by the Dutch. Now Hollingsworth gets it over to Smith. Smith tries to kill attempt. It bounces off of the block, Nice diving attempt by Katie Shekel. Was on the ground, had her fist up to try to pop the ball up. She did that, but not quite high enough. Excellent hustle attempt by the Dutch there. It's a point for Grinnell, holding off one set point. Tigers will serve. Kenzie McClellan with a serve. Played up by Heemstra. Off the net. That time the pass went off the net. And timeout taken by Pella coach Steven Satz. You're watching volleyball on the Tiger Sports live stream network.
Since 1999, Grinnell Newberg Dollars for Scholars has raised scholarship money for our graduating seniors. To date, we have awarded 1,820 scholarships to GHS graduates. We need you to be a part of our scholarship community, be a part of our GHS graduates' futures, and be a part of Grinnell Newberg Dollars for Scholars. Please consider sponsoring a senior scholarship. Go Tigers!
The Tiger Sports Live Stream Network is brought to you by the Grinnell Newberg Dollars for Scholars. Hey, if you're looking for a good nonprofit to donate some money to, the Grinnell Newberg Dollars for Scholars is the place. You can help out with grandkids, nieces, nephews, and hey, you know what? Alumni, that's a place that you can give back to your school for scholarships. So give a shout out to the Grinnell Newberg Dollars for Scholars next time you're looking for a donation to give away.
And Dan, I'll add something to that here after this point. Tigers will serve, trailing 24-20. In this second set, Tigers took the first set lead 1-0. And there's a hit by Grinnell, but it goes long, and that'll do it. That is set point for Pella, and they win the second set 25-20. We're tied at one set each. We'll be back for the third set after this on the Tiger Sports live stream network.
Hey there, I'm Joey Pollei, third generation owner of Polley's in Grinnell. Since 1957, we've been serving you the flavors you savor. Dine in, carry out, or pick up our frozen pizzas for a night in. Our promise to you? Everything is made from scratch, and we only use the freshest ingredients, guaranteed. Plus, get your kids signed up for our Pags Pals program to get free pizza and shirts. Visit polleisgrinnellia.com or ask your server how to sign up. See you soon at Polley's Pizza Grinnell on 5th Ave between Main and Broad Street.
This is a story about signs. It's also a story about people's experiences. The humble sign. They are everywhere. But signs are more than just a plaque on the wall, an arrow, or letters on a building exterior. Signs help you leave a legacy or start a new chapter in life. All those signs have to start somewhere, and that's where we come in. We're your trusted partner in everything signage.
The Tiger Sports live stream network is brought to you by Polley's Pizza and ASI Signs.
All right, so Dutch come back and tied up. Tigers made it interesting. They got down big early. They trailed 7-1 and maintained that 5 to 6 point deficit throughout. Then they got to the 20-point range, and Tigers got down within 2, but just could not. Or correction, got down to 3 at one point, but could not close the deal out. Dutch take the second set. 25-20 as we get set for set number 3. But just to add to that Dollars for Scholars, Dan, we were talking about before, the neat thing about that is, and I didn't know this either for the longest time, but there's no requirement other than your student has to apply for it. If they apply for it, they're going to get at least $500. And, I mean, that's just amazing to me. What a great thing. And that's this Thursday after the homecoming parade in Central Park. You know, it's $5. You get a hot dog and all the fixings and trimmings. So support's a really great cause. So I would encourage everybody, even if you don't have kids in school anymore, you know, you want to do an easy way to help. There's supper for tonight. You know, I already told my wife, I'm doing supper Thursday.
Yep.
Hot dogs in the park.
So we're covered for Thursday night and Monday night.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Set to start here this third set. All tied up at 1 apiece. Tigers set to serve this one. Senior captain Ashley Hollingsworth set to serve, and here we go. Ball's up. Bumped up by Pella. Over now to Shekel. She sets it over to Warner. Warner's kill attempt blocked back by Grinnell. There's a quick set by Shekel. Played over by Grinnell, and they call it a net violation on Grinnell. Couldn't see the number. The bottom official turns and signals to the bench, so I couldn't see who it was, but somebody touched the net. You cannot do that if you're a player. And it's a point for Pella. Serve up by Pella, played it by Grinnell. There's Smith with the attempt. And again, Not the biggest swing in the world, but played it perfectly. Saw that opening in the middle back of Pella's defense. Got the ball to drop in with some topspin, and we're tied up at 1 apiece. Tigers set to serve. Kenzie McClellan with a serve. Bumped up by Heemstra. Set by Schleckel. Hammered home. That time by Jasmine Namaga. Wow. Jumping up and swinging straight down on the ball, putting it away with authority. With apologies to Bill Rafferty, send it in. That was with authority. Dutch lead 2-1. Bumped up by the Tigers. Hollingsworth with a short set of her own. And Bailey Strovers says, all right, you can do that. I can do that too. Strovers gets a point, and it's 2-2. So Tigers get the serve back. And again, I'll say it just as we expected, that this match is going to be this way, I think, back and forth most of the night. It would surprise me if we went 5 sets. There's a setup by Pella, knocked home by Grinnell. Played it by the Tigers. Now a free ball. Smith gets it over with a fist. Shekel with a set. Over now to Stolzfus. Stolzfus played up. Smith pokes it back. Bumped up by the Dutch. Now a free ball over by Pella. Tigers with the Hodge with a center set to Dodge. She puts it in play. And there's a quick set and hammered down in the back corner by Jasmine Namaga for the Dutch. Nice rally that time. Good hustle on both sides, and Pella gets the point. Serve up by Pella. Set by Hollingsworth to McClellan, and that time just a misfire by McClellan into the net, and it's a point for Pella. Serve up now by the Dutch. Heemstra with a serve. Ball's up and bumped up by McClellan. Back to Hollingsworth. Over now to Smith. She tries to hammer it down again. Couldn't quite get the timer down, get up on top of the ball and swing down through and snap her wrist down. Ball goes long. It's a point for Pella. Heemstra to serve again. That time, trying to get that low line drive serve with a top spin just over the net. A little too low. Hits the net. And it's a service error, and point for Grinnell. Isabel Hart set to serve now for the Tigers. She'll come in at center, and as we said, then Hollingsworth moves to the right side. Hart's serve goes long. Lots of service errors on both sides of the net tonight. Both teams, uncharacteristic, high amount of service errors. By service errors, I mean serving the ball long and giving the point to the team. Bumped up by Grinnell. Hart chases it down. Over now to Smith. Smith tries to go for the far near side corner. Played up by Heemstra. Spiked down by the Dutch. Played up nicely by Grinnell. There comes Smith again. The hammer. Blocked by the Dutch. Diving attempt and save by the Tigers. McClellan with a fist. Here comes Stolzfus. And her corner shot was just long. Again, they try to hit back in the corner where the two lines meet. She hit up the line a little bit. Went wide. It's a point for Grinnell.
I tell you what, her acrobats in and out of that whole set there, diving for the ball and then turn around and almost doing the backwards splits to miss the ball. That was a good job on her side.
And again, 2 hitting errors in a row by the Dutch. That time Bryn Higginbotham couldn't quite get the ball to come in. Her kill attempt goes long, and it's Tigers within 1. Della Smith to serve for the Tigers. Ball goes up. Might have been long, but played up by Grinnell, or rather by Pella. Jarrah Morgan trying to get that ball up. Couldn't quite do it, and we are tied up in this third set. Again, best 3 out of 5 sets. Grinnell won the first set 27-24. Pella won the last set 25-20. Tied up at 1 piece, 1 set apiece. Ball's played up by Pella. Just does get it over to the Dutch. Now to Hart. She sets it backwards, and that's going to be a 2-hand hit. You just see by the spin of the ball, although I was told by the officials that you don't look at the spin of the ball. Just through your experience, you see the hand placement, and you can hear it, and see how it comes off the hand. that determines whether or not it's a two-handed hit, which is a violation. Dush to serve now. Alina Hartke back to serve. Ball's up. Bumped up by Stewart. Just couldn't quite get down and get that one bumped up in the air. Nice serve by the Dutch that time. And they get the point. Check that. That's Katie Pollock on the serve. Number 2 for the Dutch, senior defensive specialist with a nice serve. Serve number 2. Bumped up by Stewart to Hollingsworth. Short set to Hollingsworth. That time, again, Greta Dodd. They've run that twice now. Both times they've gotten a point. Dodd comes flying in on the short set. Pella has blocked it both times, and both times it's blocked and fall down on their side of the net. And that's a point for Grinnell. Dodd to serve. There's the ball up played by the Dutch. And that time, Mia Warner. Again, anytime the hitters arch their back, even when they're just trying to get the ball over, you arch your back. That takes away your power and makes the ball go up high. A lot of things go wrong when a hitter arches their back. Nice serve by Grinnell. Played up nicely by the Dutch. Here comes Warner. Ball played up by the Tigers over to Hart. Now sits over McClellan. McClellan pounds it back. Blocked by Pella. Dug up by Grinnell. Over now to Hollingsworth. She tries the back corner. Played up by Pella. Short set to the middle. And just like that, an opening. How many times have we seen that, Dan? The big swings are fun to watch, but boy, those placement shots, if the defense gets out of rotation, gets a spot open, they can take advantage of it and get the point.
Just know where to put that little poke at.
So Dutch to serve now, leading by 1. Hart with a short set to Dodd. Oh, that time timing was off. And that's a good example of the timing. It takes a lot of things have to work to make that go. And that time the timing was just a bit off. And the ball falls down and a point for Pella. Higginbotham to serve. Bumped up by the Tigers. Hart with a set over now. Trying to get to McClellan. And that time, ball goes into the net. It's a point for Pella. Check the Jasmine Namaga with the serve for the Dutch. Hart with a set over now to McClellan. She hammers it back. Blocked by Pella. Bumped up by Grinnell. McClellan tried again. This time tried to go over the block. Behind. Played up by Pella. Now a free ball by the Dutch. Stewart gets it over to Hart. Short set. That time to Dodd in the middle. Bumped up by Pella. Stewart gets it up. Hart with the set. Over to Hollingsworth. And her kill attempt gets down. Wow, nice action by both teams that side, and Tigers get the point.
You know, there's nothing better than watching, I don't care who it is, whether it's the Pella or the Grinnell team, when each team scores a point, you would think they win the ball game. I mean, it is celebration of hoot and hollering, and I just love that enthusiasm when you watch volleyball.
And that time to serve, Kylie Heemster thought it was going to be out, so she did a bounce at her feet, and the line judge called it good. No argument from head coach Steven Satz. Again, sitting in for the regular head coach Mallory Peterson, who's not here tonight for the Dutch. That's a point for Grinnell. Shekel with a set. Up now that time to Jasmine Namaga. And Namaga hammers it home. As the famous ball player Sage once said, hit it where they ain't. And that's what Namaga did. My apologies to all the teachers out there, one of which is my wife, for saying the word ain't. I was quoting Yogi Berra, not using the word myself. And I find the more I talk about that, Dan, the deeper the hole gets, so we'll just stop and get back to the action. Pella plays it up. There's a set by the Dutch. Bumped up by Grinnell. Hollingsworth with a bump. Over now to Hart. Now back to Hollingsworth. Tries a short set over to Shekel. Shekel gets it to Warner. Warner's dug up by Stewart. To Hollingsworth. Now to McClellan. Tips it right down, and there's a perfect example. The block was there. Dutch rolled 2 blockers at her. She saw the opening, so instead of the big swing, she poked the ball over the block, right to the opening, and Tigers get the point.
Well, because I know that my wife is watching too, that sometimes proper grammar, even in the best of ranks, falls through the holes once in a while.
It does.
As we constantly speak of grammar for our oldest son, that is also a sports play-by-play broadcaster, but he rebelliously says, you know what, listen to such and such. And he's right.
That's right. That time the block by Dutch, the Pella Dutch, goes down on their side. It's a point for Grinnell. Now it's a point for Grinnell as the ball goes out of bounds. They blew the whistle. Nobody was stopped. Now the Tigers stop. That got Steven Satz up off the bench. He was asking the floor official, what was that? And I think he was maybe asking for a let. I don't know. But it's a point for Grinnell. And Tigers actually have the lead now, 13-12. McClellan with a serve. And that serve attempt goes long. Tied up at 13-all here in this third set. Each team won a set, so we're tied up at one set apiece. You play best 3 out of 5 sets. To 25, win by 2. If you get to the fifth set, they play to 15, win by 2. Hollingsworth with a set. Over now to Smith. Smith with a kill straight down. That time, Della got up on top of it, hammered it down off a Dutch player out of bounds. It's a point for Grinnell. So Tigers down most of this match, fall back now, taking the lead on a couple of occasions. Once at 13-12, now at 14-13. Strover's a serve, played up by Heemstra. Back set now, Dutch just hustling to get it over, they do. Short set by Hollingsworth to Dodd, tries to find the opening, and she does. Again, they've run that short set 3 times now. 2 big swings by Dodd, got it home. This time she saw the block was there waiting for her, so she bumped it up over the block to the opening behind the 2 attack blockers for the Dutch and gets a point for Grinnell. There's a serve error by the Tigers. Point for Pella. Again, first of 2 broadcasts this week on the Tiger Sports live stream. Friday night, Tigers host Keokuk for homecoming football. We'll have that for you as well. Game showtime around 7:15. There's a kill attempt by Smith, blocked by the Dutch. Hollingsworth chases it down. McClellan gets it over, blocked up by the Dutch. Played up. Now it's set back by Scheckel. Over now to Higginbotham. And again, not the biggest and hardest swing, but effective, gets it down, and it's a point for Pella. It's homecoming week here at Grinnell. Keokuk Chiefs come to town on Friday. Tigers looking to go 2-0 in their district. Class 3A District 5. Serve up by Pella. Hollingsworth with a back set. Over now to Smith. Over to the Dutch. Bumped up by McClellan. Back to Hollingsworth. Back to Smith. Played up by Pella. Heemstra gets it up. That time over by the Dutch. There's a set now. Della Smith coming up. Tries to block it in, and again, Della read the thing. Looks back at her coach. She gives a little finger sign like, you're right. Della looked like he was going to go up and really unload on that, but the last second she just kind of jumped and hit it in the opening. Placed the ball perfectly. That's a point for Grinnell.
You know, Della does a really good job of readjusting. If you ever notice when she comes up, it's almost like she'll stop as the set's being done and see where exactly it's going to be placed.
Serve up by Grinnell, played back by the Dutch. There's a middle attack attempt by the Tigers, played up by Pella. Heemstra bumps it up. There's the attempt by the Dutch, high up in the air. Stewart's going to bump it up. Now to Hart, free ball over. Chance for the Dutch here. Short set, and that time hammered down and home that time by Namiga. It's a point for Pella. We are tied at 16. Dutch to serve. Glad to have you with us here on the Tiger Sports live stream network on YouTube. Serve up by Pella. Bumped up by Grinnell. Back to Stewart. Stewart turns and gets the ball over. Does stay in. Played up by the Dutch. Short set by Pella. Bumped up nicely. Diving attempt that time by the Tigers. Gets the ball up and over. Blocked by Pella. Back to Grinnell. Smith goes up to put the kill in the back. Diving attempt by Pella to keep it going. And here we are. Ball's bumped up again by the Tigers. Hits the ceiling. That's allowed. If it hits the girder and falls back on your side, you can play that. But Tigers cannot get to it, and it falls to the ground, and a point for Pella. (16-17) Dutch, and they are serving. Bumped up by Grinnell to Hart. Hart over to Smith. She just tries to get it back, and again, arches her back, tries to get it over the far corner. Could not get the ball to drop in. It's a point for Pella. Dutch now to serve. Elena Hartke serving for the Dutch. Ball is bumped up. Over to Hart. Now Smith tries to find a placement. She gets it back. Played up by Pella. But it caught her and knocked her down because she's trying to brace herself so she wouldn't get a lift call. It was Hartke, but couldn't quite control it, and it's a point for the Tigers. Tigers now set to serve. Della Smith with the serve. Played up by Heemstra. Kill attempt that time by Stoltzfus. Blocked by Grinnell, but again, it falls down on Grinnell's side of the net. So it's a point for the Dutch, and they lead 19-17. Katie Pollock back to serve for the Dutch. Ready for play here. I'm not sure what the delay was. Now we get the whistle. And here comes the serve. Bumped up by Stewart over to Hart, to McClellan, and she hammers it home. Kenzie McClellan, sophomore. Second on the team in kills with 88. Puts it home there. It's a point for Grinnell. Greta Dodd to serve. Plays it up. Over now to Warner. Warner's kill attempt dug out by Grinnell. Short set that time. Played up nicely by Pella, or rather by Grinnell. Diving attempt. And that's when the setter, it's the first time all match long that the setter, Katie Shekel, the freshman, looks like she's going to set it, but instead of setting it, she tips it over the net quickly and gets it over the net and falls in for a point for Pella. Hart with a set to McClellan. She finds an opening there. Dutch had rolled a blocker from the left side to come over to help on McClellan, and McClellan tips it up and over right in the same spot where that left side player would have been had they stayed home. So great recognition that time, and it's a point for Grinnell. Little cat and mouse chess match going on, if you will. Tigers say, if you're going to roll two blockers at my hitters, then I'm going to put it up over right where your other blocker was supposed to be for the point. That time was a service error by the Tigers. Gives the point to Grinnell, or rather to Pella. Again, tied up at 1 set each. Match goes best 3 sets out of 5. Jump serve by the Dutch, played up by Stewart. Over to Hollingsworth. Tip over to Smith. Smith's attempt gets blocked back. They initially pointed towards Grinnell. Then the referee in the chair shook her head and then pointed to Pella. I think that was the right call. Looks like it went down on Grinnell's side. That's a point for the Dutch. Shekel with a serve. Puts the ball up. Hollingsworth with a set over to Smith. Smith tries to put a diving attempt by the Dutch. And the backwards play by Pella right on the line. Called good. It's a point. Well, let's see.
Oh, they give that to Grinnell.
They give that to Grinnell. They initially pointed towards the Pella side.
I think they called it as 2 hits by 1 player.
Okay. So, point for Grinnell there. It's 23-20. And there's a kill attempt right back. Elena Hartke. Again, not a big swing, just placed the ball perfectly where the Tiger players weren't. And Pella is at set point. Looking to go up 2 sets to 1. Serving for this 3rd set. Ball's up. Just over the net. Line drive serve. Played back by Grinnell. Tigers just have to get it over. They do. Heemstra up. Kill attempt blocked by Grinnell. Back to Pella. Shekel now to the back row. Bumped up by Grinnell. Hollingsworth over down to Smith. Smith hammers it home off the Pella block out of bounds, and it's a point for the Grinnell. Tigers looking to serve now. Looks like that is Kenzie McClellan with a serve. Nice serve, diving attempt, saved by Heemstra, dug out by Heemstra, over now to Grinnell. Hollingsworth with a set to Smith. Smith, kill attempt, tipped by Pella. Played nicely back, but the ball kind of falls between three Pella players. It's a point for Grinnell, and Pella coach Steven Satz has seen enough, takes a timeout on the Tiger Sports live stream network.
Jeff Finch here from West Finch Auto Plaza in Grinnell. We normally go to the auction to restock our used cars and trucks, but prices have skyrocketed. If we're going to overpay, we'd rather overpay our friends, neighbors, and past customers. Bring your vehicle in for a quick 20-minute appraisal. You can either take the cash, trade for a different vehicle, or walk away. In some cases, your vehicle may be worth more than you paid for it. See us at West Finch Auto Plaza in Grinnell or online at westfinch.com.
The Tiger Sports live stream network is brought to you by West Finch Auto Plaza. Also, let's give a shout out tonight to our business card sponsors: ASI Signs, Turnkey Realty, Mayflower Community Homes, Kurt's Collision Center, Polly Ice Pizza, West Finch Auto Plaza, Medicap Pharmacy, Grinnell Mutual, Ramsey Weeks Insurance and Ramsey Weeks Real Estate, and Grinnell Firestone.
Nice, tightly contested match between the Dutch and the Tigers, just as we thought it would be. It's living up to that so far here in this decisive third set. Winner goes up 2-1. Smith now with a kill attempt. Blocked off a Pella player. They had players in line to get it, but the Dutch front blocker tipped it, knocked it offline. It's a point for Grinnell, and we are tied at 23. Wow. Tigers set to serve here. Serve is up, and then by Grinnell. Dug up by Heemstra. Set by Schleckel. Over now to... That time on the kill was Annika Stoltzfus. She knocks it home off a Tiger player, and it's set point Pella. Back and forth we go. Kylie Heemstra, junior libero, set to serve. There's the serve up. Bumped up by Grinnell. Hollingsworth with a set. Over to Smith. Smith drops it off. Off of Pella. Kill by Smith again. Goes off of Pella that time, out of bounds. And we are tied up at 24. Wow. Great set so far by both teams. Fun to watch. Glad to have you with us and be a part of it on this Tuesday night. Served by the Tigers. Goes off a Pella player. Might have been long, hard to tell. And now Tigers are at set point. And timeout taken by the Dutch. We'll take one as well. You're watching high school volleyball on the Tiger Sports live stream network.
Every sunrise offers new opportunities to dream big or to take that next small step. Every sunrise is another chance to build on the one before or to start with a clean slate. Because every sunrise is tomorrow's promise made real. And Grinnell Mutual is tomorrow's promise protected. Trust in tomorrow and contact a Grinnell Mutual agent today.
The Tiger Sports live stream network is brought to you by Grinnell Mutual.
All right. Sophomore Isabel Hart serving for this third set. Tigers lead 25-24. Serve up by Hart. In play, bumped up by Pella. Over to Schleckel. Over now to the right side to Stoltzfus. Her attempt is long, and the Tigers win. Tigers get the second set, third set rather, 26-24. They lead 2-1 over the Dutch. We'll take this break as we get ready for that fourth set on the Tiger Sports live stream network.
At Ramsey Weeks, it's the synergy of insurance and real estate that makes our local office vibrant. At Ramsey Weeks, our success depends on yours in buying or selling property, in insuring your car, home, farm, or business. In your time of need, our success depends on yours. Ramsey Weeks Insurance and Ramsey Weeks Real Estate, 715 Fifth Avenue, Grinnell.
There are a lot lot of great reasons to make Medicap Pharmacy in Grinnell your pharmacy. Hi, this is Jennifer Stallman, and if you are like me, you have a busy schedule. So why wait around to get a prescription filled? At Medicap Pharmacy, we can call or text you when your prescriptions are ready. It's a free service that is available on request for any of our customers. Of course, we also have a convenient drive-through, free weekday deliveries, and free mail-outs as well. Just another great reason to make Medicap Pharmacy your pharmacy on Highway 6 West, Grinnell.
I decided to run for the Iowa House because I had helped on a couple of different school bond votes, and I didn't like how state policies were causing divisions within our rural communities, and I felt that I had a good understanding through listening to both of those sides at how to make it better and how to make positive change for our small rural towns.
The Tiger Sports Livestream Network is brought to you by Grinnell Mutual, Ramsey Weeks Insurance, and Ramsey Weeks Real Estate, Medicap Pharmacy, and Sarah Smith for Iowa House.
Well, Tigers up 2-1 on the Pella Dutch. During the break, I was trying to do some research and trying to remember the last time Grinnell beat Pella in volleyball. I'm not going to say it's never happened, but I mean, I've been in town quite a while and had two daughters go through volleyball, and I can safely say it's probably been quite a while since Grinnell's beat. But a lot of volleyball left. I'm not getting ahead of myself by any means. For you Pella fans who may be listening, certainly not over, but Tigers playing well. Actually, both teams playing well. Great hustle on both sides by both teams. And, you know, we talked about that. The Tigers looking to get things rounded into shape and looking to finish and keep the energy up. Because we've seen in other matches where they may win the first set, but after that their energy falls off. But so far, Tigers doing a good job of keeping the energy up, and they lead 2-1. Pella to serve. Ball's up, played back by Grinnell. Now over to Pella. Kill attempt by Warner. Blocked back by Grinnell. Right where nobody was, and Tigers get the first point. Now senior captain Ashley Hollingsworth set to serve for the Tigers. There's the ball up, bumped up by Pella to Suckle. Over now to the middle. Short set that time to Jasmine Namiga. And just like that, Katie Schleckel sets it perfectly. And Namiga hammers it home, and it's tied up at 1. Dush to serve. Ball goes up, dug up by Stewart. Over to Hollingsworth. Sets it to Smith. Nice dig by Pella. Wow, that was a laser shot by Smith. Dug up nicely by the Dutch. Played over now as a free ball. Hollingsworth again goes to Smith. That time, or check that, that was McClellan that time. Going up. And ball was hit into the net, and it's a point for Pella. Dutch set to serve here in this fourth set. They trail 2-1. Stewart now gets the ball up. Free ball over by the Tigers. Played up by Pella. Short set that time by Pella. Timing was off. They do get it over now back to McClellan, who hammers it down. Dug out nicely by Heemstra. Over to Schleckel. Middle attack by the Dutch. Played up by Grinnell. There's a set to the near side, and Smith tries to find the hole. Again, played up by the Tigers. That time a big swing. And it's long. Out of bounds. That was Annika Stolzfus. That's a point for Grinnell. Okay, we go back to 2012 when Grinnell beat them in a full match 3-1. The Grinnell did beat them also 1-0 back in 21.
It's been a tournament?
A tournament game, yep. Ace served that time for the Tigers, and they take the lead 3-2. So thank you to Dan Walker for that.
Those are records all the way back to 07.
All right. So 2012, the last time, 10 years ago, the last time the Tigers beat the Dutch in volleyball. There's the ball up. And that time, an attack attempt by the Dutch. Annika Stolzfus. Ball hit the net, tried to roll up and over, couldn't quite do it. It's a point for Grinnell. Tigers starting together now 3 in a row. They lead 4-2. Serve up by the Tigers, bumped up by the Dutch. Stoltzfus with an attempt getting the ball over to Hollingsworth. Short set that time, dug out nicely by Grinnell, or by Pella rather. That time the kill attempt goes off a Tiger block and falls down on the Tiger side for a point for the Dutch. So Dutch to serve now. Heemstra with the serve. Bumped up by Stewart. Over now to Hollingsworth. On this side to Smith. Smith hammers it down, dug up nicely by the Dutch. Heemstra sets it up. Played over by Pella, and that's going to be out went behind the striped bar, the, as you see, barbershop pole, or whatever you want to call it. It's a point for the Tigers. There's the ball played up by Pella. That time a little serve-receive error by the Dutch. A couple of players looked at each other like, I thought you were going to get that, and it kind of went off of maybe two players. I couldn't quite tell there, but falls down for a point for Grinnell. There's the ball played up by Pella. Short set that time by the Dutch and hammered home. Schleckel works that perfectly with Higginbotham. Higginbotham hammers that short set home. It's a point for Pella. Dutch to serve, and that time Schleckel's, or check that, Stoltzfus serve goes into the net. Or check that, Harkney's serve, there we go, goes into the net. That's a point for Grinnell. Good thing I got it right on the third time, because 3 strikes and I've been out. You'd have to listen to Dan Walker the rest of the way, which some of you probably would prefer doing anyway. Who knows?
Might be a quiet night.
Played up by Pella. There's a kill attempt by the Dutch. Played back by Stewart. Chasing it down as the Tigers. They get to it. Now up and over is a free ball. Good hustle by Grinnell to get it back in. And we're still playing. There's another shot by, it's a dink, what they call it. I don't know the official term, but I know the players call it a dink by the setter. They just dink it over the net. That's twice now that Schleckel has used it. You don't want to do that every time, or even, probably no more than once or twice a set. But effectively done that time by the freshman for the Dutch, and they get the point.
If I had to call the rest of this, I would figure out a way to put football and basketball terminology into what I'm watching.
There's a kill attempt that time in the right spot. Again, not much velocity, but it went off a Pella player who tipped it, and then past the diving attempt of her teammate falls to the ground, and it is a point for the Tigers.
Hey, you never know. We might get a couple extra thumbs ups on that, too.
Yeah, we probably could. Ball up by Pella. There's a kill attempt, dug up nicely. Wow, Mia Warner that time unloaded on that ball. Stewart was there, just couldn't quite control it to the center. She got the ball up, but it went to the right out of bounds. And it's a point for the Dutch. 2-point lead for the Tigers here. In this 4th set, Tigers lead 2-1. Hollingsworth with a kill attempt. Tipped off a Pella player. Dug up by Pella. Schleckel with the set. Over now to Warner. Warner's attempt gets blocked back. Let's see. Blocked back and falls in bounds. And that's a point for the Tigers. Hard to see with the referee in our way there. I didn't see the net move, so I'm going to assume that a Tiger player blocked it back. Either way, Tigers got the point, and they lead. Nice serve that time by Grinnell. Bumped up by Pella. Warner with a kill attempt. He gets it down past the Tiger defense. It's a point for Pella. Back and forth we go. No team able to put together more than 2 or 3 points in a row so far in this match. And Tigers up 2. Dutch to serve. Katie Schleckel with the serve. Nice jump serve by Schleckel. She leads the team in aces. Averages about 2 aces per match. That's her second one. She had one in the second set also, I believe. Good time for that, and Dutch closed within 1. Schleckel goes up. Bumped up by the Grinnell. Over now to Hart. Hart hits it now, that time to McClellan. McClellan tried to go right down the net and drop it in on the near sideline. Could not quite do it. Out of bounds, and point for Pella, and we are tied. Pella now scored 3 in a row. Bumped up by Grinnell again. Schleckel You see why she leads the team in aces. Freshman getting it done on the service line, and timeout taken by Grinnell. You're watching high school volleyball on the Tiger Sports live stream network.
Since 1999, Grinnell Newburgh Dollars for Scholars has raised scholarship money for our graduating seniors. To date, we have awarded 1,820 scholarships to GHS graduates. We need you to be a part of our scholarship community, be a part of our GHS graduates' futures, and be a part of Grinnell Newburgh Dollars for Scholars. Please consider sponsoring a senior scholarship. Go Tigers!
The Tiger Sports live stream network is brought to you by the Grinnell Newburgh Dollars for Scholars.
All right. Again, I've said it before. I'm repeating myself. I can hear my wife at home just shaking her head going, no, don't do that. But this match has been just like we thought. Close, tight, no more than really a 2 or 3 point lead at any given moment. That time the Tiger players, a little bit of confusion on their serve receive, but they get the ball up and over. Again, not really a big swing. Matter of fact, they just kind of played it over, but hit the right spot and falls to the ground on the Pella side, and it's a point for Grinnell. And Tigers tied up. Hollingsworth set to serve, gets the ball up. Shekel with a set up. Kill attempt by Hartke. Dug up by Grinnell. Back to Hollingsworth. Hollingsworth gets it to McClellan. Her kill attempt is bumped up by Pella. But trying to track it down, making a diving attempt that time. Nice hustle by Katie Pollock, a senior defensive specialist. Couldn't quite bring it up. It's a point for Grinnell. If you're just joining us, Tigers won the first set 27-24. Pella took the second one 25-20. Tigers won the third 26-24. They lead 2 sets to 1. There's a serve receive error that time. Back in the far corner. Pella player couldn't quite get there in time to get her hips underneath it and feet underneath it. Ball falls to the court. It's a point for Grinnell. And Hollingsworth finding her spots in this Dutch defense. There's a play up by Pella. Shekel with the set. Over now to Hartke. Hartke's attempt gets down again. Not the hardest swing, but very effective. It's a point for Pella. I know when I coach basketball, players would, they make a shot. They say, well, that wasn't very good. It wasn't a pretty shot. I said, I don't care how you put in the ball on the hole. Just put it in the basket. We'll take the 2 points. You don't get style points for it. It's 2 points either way. And those are going down, and they take them. Nice attempt by the Tigers, dug out by Pella. Over now on the far side to Stolzfus. Stolzfus played up by Grinnell. Hollingsworth with a set. Up, kill attempt by McClellan, dug out by Pella. And the Pella players wanted an over-the-net play, but nope, Tigers stayed back. It falls on their side. And Tigers get the point, and they lead 13-11. Tigers set to serve here. Kenzie McClellan with the serve, bumped up by Heemstra. Over to Shekel. Over on the right side. Kill attempt that time by Jasmine Namiga. Puts it down. Tigers got the block, but it fell on the Tiger side of the court. That's a point for the Dutch. Junior libero Kylie Heemstra serves it up for the Dutch. Hollingsworth with a set. Back to Smith. Smith's kill attempt. Dug up nicely by the Dutch. Over now to Stolzfus, but her swing, the timing was just a bit off. She couldn't quite jump up and get on top of it. Hits it into the net, and it's a point for Grinnell. Aaliyah Riddick in now for the Dutch, replacing Stolzfus. Riddick will play, I believe, the left side here, on the near side. And Tigers to serve. There's a serve up, tipped up by Pella, and out of bounds, goes out, and it's a point for Grinnell. Bailey Strovers, a senior middle hitter, on the serve. And Tigers up 3. Strovers, serve up, dug up by Heemstra. Over now to Shekel. To Riddick. Riddick's attempt goes into the net. Again, coming in off the bench. Katie Shekel, the freshman, goes up and gives her a slap and says, come on, you got this. And Grinnell leads 16-12. Heemstra bumps the ball up. swatted up in the air by Pella and played back in by the Dutch. Short set that time by Grinnell, tipped over, played back by the Dutch. Heemster gets it over to Hollingsworth, over now to Smith. She hammers it home, off a Schleckel out of bounds, and point for Grinnell. Now, if you're wondering how can they play that, well, timeout by Pella. We'll talk about that when we get back. You're watching high school volleyball on the Tiger Sports Livestream Network.
Hey there, I'm Joey Pollei, third generation owner of Polley's in Grinnell. Since 1957, we've been serving you the flavors you savor. Dine in, carry out, or pick up our frozen pizzas for a night in. Our promise to you, everything is made from scratch and we only use the freshest ingredients, guaranteed. Plus, get your kids signed up for our Pags Pals program to get free pizza and shirts. Visit polleisgrinnellia.com or ask your server how to sign up. See you soon at Polley's Pizza Grinnell on 5th Ave between Main and Broad Street.
The Tiger Sports Livestream Network is brought to you by Polley's Pizza. It's kind of a little bit too late to get down for the spaghetti special tonight, but if you're ever out on a Tuesday night, hit that spaghetti special, and then Wednesday nights is the two-topping medium pizzas for a great price. So stop in and see Joey and the gang at Polley's Pizza.
Tigers set to serve here, leading 17-12. Play up by the Dutch, tipped by the Tigers, played up by Grinnell. Hollingsworth with a set over to Smith. All she can do is tip it over. It goes out of bounds behind the pole. That's a point for Pella. Elena Hartke goes back to serve for the Dutch. Here comes the serve. Bumped up by the Tigers. Hollingsworth couldn't quite get that. Della Smith on that serve receive. Taps her shoulder, says, my bad. It's a point for Pella. Hartke to serve again. There goes the ball up. Smith plays it up to Hollingsworth. Back to Smith. Ball's tipped by Pella. Dug up. Nice diving attempt by Pella. Played up by the Tigers. Over now to Smith on the other side and blocked back. No, correction, not blocked. It hit into the net by Shiloh Smith, Della's older sister, the sophomore. That's a point for Pella. Serve is up, bumped up by Smith to Hollingsworth. Back to Shiloh Smith, tries to get it over the block, but dug up by Pella. Short set that time by the Dutch, and played up and in. Not played up and in, rather. I thought she got her fist underneath it, but the ball wasn't high enough. Hit the court, and that's 3 in a row now for the Dutch, and they trail by 1. Here comes a serve now by the Dutch. Up and over. Smith with a pass over to Hollingsworth to the middle to McClellan. And her hit is dug up by Pella. Free ball over by Heemstra, so Tigers will have a chance here. Stewart to Hollingsworth. Short set to Dodd, and she hammers it home. Wow, when the Tigers have needed a point, that's the 4th time they've done that tonight. When they need that short set, they go to Dodd from Hollingsworth, and the senior has delivered 4 points off that when the Tigers needed it, as Pella put together 4 in a row there. Tigers got a big point on that one.
And that one had a little speed on it.
Had some velocity. Served by Grinnell, and that goes long. Service there by the Tigers. Gives the point to Pella, and the Dutch get the serve back. Katie Pollock comes in, defensive specialist, a senior, to serve for the Dutch. Ball's up. Here's a serve. Bumped up by Grinnell. To Hart. Over to Smith. Tries that corner. Bumped up by Pella. Back now to Warner. Warner's kill. Hammers it down on the near side here. Warner could have gone opposite corner or the near side. She chose the near side. That's a point for Pella. And we are tied up. Great match going on here at Tiger Gym. Glad to have you with us on a Tuesday night here on Tiger Sports Livestream Network. Hart with a setup to McClellan. McClellan's trying to take something off that. Blocked down by Pella. Dutch get the point, and they have taken the lead. And now Coach Stenger will take her final timeout of this set as well. You're watching high school volleyball on the Tiger Sports Livestream Network.
Jeff Finch here from West Finch Auto Plaza in Grinnell. We normally go to the auction to restock our used cars and trucks, but prices have skyrocketed. If we're going to overpay, we'd rather overpay our friends, neighbors, and past customers. Bring your vehicle in for a quick 20-minute appraisal. You can either take the cash, trade for a different vehicle, or walk away. In some cases, your vehicle may be worth more than you paid for it. See us at West Finch Auto Plaza in Grinnell or online at westfinch.com.
The Tiger Sports Live Stream Network is brought to you by West Finch Auto Plaza.
All right. Tigers led 18-15. Dutch have scored 4 in a row to take the lead, 19-18. So here we go. Dutch serving. Serve up. Bumped up by Grinnell. To Hart. Over now to Smith. Smith hammers it home with authority. Dutch were there for the block. Had 2 blockers there. Couldn't control it. Goes out of bounds off Pella, and Tigers get the point, and we are tied. Great match. Hope you're enjoying it as much as we are bringing this to you here on the Tiger Sports Live Stream Network on YouTube. Tigers to serve. Smith with the serve. Bumped up by Pella. Set by Schleckel. Over now to Warner, and she does her thing. The senior outside hitter, when the Dutch need a point, they go to Warner. She delivers. And Pella gets the point, and they take the lead. Again, Grinnell is up 2-1. You win the match by getting best 3 out of 5 sets. Serve up by the Dutch. Played up by Stewart. Over now to Hart. To McClellan. Her kill goes off of the Pella player. That was Morgan. Couldn't quite handle it. Nice kill by McClellan. And guess what? We're tied up at 20 again. Great hustle and effort by both teams on both sides. Fun to see the players competing. Tigers with a serve. Played up nicely by Heemstra. Couldn't quite control it. Kind of caught her going backwards. Sometimes the serve right at the player is the hardest one to handle because it's coming right at you. It's hard to judge how to extend your arms or bring them in to play off the ball. Point for Grinnell, and they take the lead. Served by Dodd, played over by the Dutch. Just get it over the net. Quickly back now. Hollingsworth, kill attempt blocked. Hollingsworth again with a kill blocked back by Pella. Played up by Grinnell. This time over to McClellan. She tips it over and goes off a Pella player, hits the ground. And it's a point for Grinnell. And timeout taken by Pella on the Tiger Sports Live Stream Network.
Every sunrise offers new opportunities to dream big or to take that next small step. Every sunrise is another chance to build on the one before or to start with a clean slate, because every sunrise is tomorrow's promise made real, and Grinnell Mutual is tomorrow's promise protected. Trust in tomorrow and contact a Grinnell Mutual agent today.
The Tiger Sports Live Stream Network is brought to you by Grinnell Mutual.
All right, Coach Steven Sass takes his second and final timeout. Each team gets 2 timeouts per set. Both teams have taken their allotment of 2 timeouts, so we will play this one out. Tigers serving in a 2-point lead. Here's a serve up. Hits the net, played up nicely by the Dutch. Schleckel over now to Warner. Warner gets the kill, tipped by the Tigers, played up by Grinnell. Hart over to McClellan. She hits it back, and it bounces off of Pella. A couple times the ball falls down off the block. Point for Grinnell. Dodd with a serve. Tiger fans on their feet. Dodd serves. Hits the net again. Nice play by the Dutch to get it stuck with a set to Warner. Blocked back by the Tigers. Warner again blocked. Tipped off 2 Grinnell players out of bounds. Mia Warner, the senior, says not just yet. Warner jumping up and down and pumping her fist at the bench and her teammates. Point for Pella. They get the serve. Katie Schleckel, the freshman, with the serve. Jump serve up. Ball played up by Grinnell. Tipped up by Hart. Over to McClellan. She tries to get it in and just misses. She tried to put topspin on it. to get it to drop in, but it was just long. That's a point for Pella. Tigers lead 23-22, as you see on your screen. Shekel to serve. There's a service there into the net. And guess what? Point Grinnell. Tigers are at match point. Back to serve the senior captain, Ashley Hollingsworth. And here we go. Hollingsworth, ball's up. Serve drops in. Heemstra plays it up. Shekel with a set. Over to Warner. Attempt played up by the Tigers. Over to Hollingsworth. To McClellan. Blocked by Pella. Still going. Tigers off the head. It's still in play. Hollingsworth with a short set to Dodd. Blocked by Pella, and that's it. Short set again. The Tigers get it done. First time since 2012. Tigers beat the Dutch 3-1. Wow. Wow, congratulations. What a great match, Dan, by both teams. You know, you said it off the top, and I said it a few times throughout the match. We expect this one to be a tightly contested, very intense match, and it was everything. Great play on both sides, and Tigers come out with the win.
Yeah, hats off to the Grinnell Tiger team. They've been fighting all year and getting up to homecoming week when everyone expects a win, no matter who's playing on homecoming week. So congratulations to the Grinnell Tiger volleyball team. That is a great start to this homecoming week.
All right, that'll do it for our broadcast here from Tiger Gymnasium. Thank you for being with us here on the Tiger Sports Livestream Network. If you like what you heard and saw, make sure you hit the like button and let us know about it. We welcome any comments on our Facebook page as well, and we will see you Friday night from homecoming football. The Tigers host the Keokuk Chiefs from TT Crane Field. For my partner Dan Walker, this is Chris Juni saying once again, Tigers defeat the Dutch. First time since 2012 in volleyball. They win 3-1 on the Tiger Sports Livestream Network.
This live stream is a copyright of the Tiger Sports Livestream Network. Reproduction or distribution of this live stream without permission of the Tiger Sports Livestream Network is a violation of the law.